All right, let's get to it. This your boy Yusef Hood, CEO, HoodFilms Corporation. You know what I'm saying? Started this brand in 1998. And this episode is how did I open a film company with no money? Well, first of all, there was no cell phones, there was no cameras, there was none of that kind of stuff around back in 1996, 1995. This just did not exist. So I was in my early 20s. And what I decided to do, because this was a passion of mine as a kid, I wanted to be a filmmaker. We watched all the movies. My father took us to all the films, and it was just a part of our life. So what I did is I just started kind of like going to all the libraries and reading up on everything, following different filmmakers that came about. It was a guy named Matty Rich who came out with a movie back in the early 90s called Straight Out of Brooklyn. So I knew it could happen because he was very young, and I did an interview with him on NBC, which is Channel 5 in Chicago on TV. So I was like, dang. He said he read all the books in the library. And I'm thinking like, well, okay, cool. Because there was no internet or nothing like that. So I went to the libraries. I started learning everything I could, and then when I started getting ready to go to college, it was a film school in Chicago called Columbia College, but they cost a lot of money, and it was definitely a white school, so it was no way I could get in there and do my thing. But somehow I got my way up in that school, you know what I mean, and did like some very short films for like 1 minute films, but they were actually on film. It was not digital or nothing like that. So it was hard to get a copy of it. So because you had to get like process the actual film to a video. And so it was hard, but I had the actual film and I knew that I could do it. I knew the process of making a film because I had studied this stuff so hard. So how did I make a film company with no money? So I took my skill that I had. Somebody called me up and they helped me get on a production and that was happening in Chicago. And I shot that film and I learned about a camera that came about. It was a digital camera. And this started to come about in like 97, 98. And so when I finally found out about what this camera is, I started studying it even more. And I did not open a film company. I took all the money that I mustered up and I bought the camera. So I took the camera and I filmed every single thing I could, no matter what it was. There was no way to edit. Editing was not a part of it. So what we do is just film it and then copy it to a VHS tape. And that's what it was. That's what I sold. So I actually just sold that tape to people, and then it got bootleg. And then when they get bootleg, certain projects that I would make along the way would get bootleg very, very big. So it would allow me to be able to sell it because people had heard of it. And then people said, well, dang, I heard of that. But then they actually got a chance to meet me and physically buy it from me. So that's how I got the money to open up my film company, by actually starting the process of, because it was like about $3,000 or $4,000 to get the camera. But the camera, so it cost way more money to get the camera than it did to open the business. But I knew I needed the camera to operate the business, so I wanted to make sure I had me a camera. So, but it was no editing system. Editing stuff cost 10 times more at that time. So fast forward to me opening the business, I found out about how to open a film company, what it takes, what's the process, who you need to hire behind the scenes, and all of the paperwork that's involved in that. And then I took that skill and transferred it further into trademarking my brand and beginning classes and teaching people how to do filmmaking and shooting more movies and documentaries, and which transferred me into going to school and getting a master's in fine arts and filmmaking, which transferred me to working in Hollywood on different movies and stuff like that for Paramount Pictures and the like. So all it basically took was me being able to keep filming the people who was around me. Like everything I would come in the neighborhoods, the people, whoever it was, we would just sit up sometime and just be smoking and just talking. And I would film that and then I put it on the tape and people would ask me, how can they get it or whatever. That turned into a couple of bucks, a couple of dollars here, there, and there. And then it turned into me making up money enough to go start the film company. That's how the process got started. That's how it was done. It was a lot of days and nights in between that obviously you skip over just to tell this little story. But just to let you know that it can happen. My process is going to be different from yours, so don't let nothing stop you. You can start your business. It's a lot cheaper than it was at that time. It's a lot more availability to you. You can do this stuff online. You can even make films on your cell phone, just like I'm making this video right now. You're listening and watching on my cell phone right now. So that's it. Holla at your boy, Hood Films.